Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Krista Marie if you're new here. Today we're going to be doing an easy peasy smoky eye tutorial for beginners. I'm going to take you step by step on this eyeshadow tutorial. It's going to be super easy. You're going to learn this eyeshadow look today, girl. If you are new to my channel, hey girl, hey, welcome to my channel. I teach makeup the easy way, and make sure y'all post notification bells are on, because if it's not, you're going to miss out on all makeup tips that I'm here to bring, girl. Okay, so first things first, before you get into applying any eyeshadows on the lid, you always want to prime the eyelids first before applying eyeshadow. The eyeshadow primer works over time to intensify the color on the lid. Over time, it helps prevent smudging and creasing over time. So you're probably wondering, girl, why do you have two primers here? Well, this is the eyeshadow primer. This is an actual concealer. I like to use a concealer closer to my skin complexion to prime my eyelid versus an actual eyeshadow primer. I find that a concealer that is skin-like works best when priming my eyelids. That way I don't have to worry about getting rid of like that white cast that may be there after I apply my eyeshadows. So a concealer for me is more beginner friendly. If you're getting more into professional, makeup or eyeshadow looks, then you can definitely use an eyeshadow primer. But for me, I prefer concealer. Once you have your concealer blended out on the lid, I'm then going to go in with a setting powder. It can be translucent. I'm using the Huda Beauty baking powder. This is not translucent, but I am using the shade Kunafa. I don't want this to be dark on the lid. I want to keep it like a little bit brighter, but very skin-like tone. If you're a beginner, use a translucent setting powder to set the lid. A setting powder is just going to lock in that concealer and prevent it from creasing throughout the day. You don't want your eyeshadows to be creasing. This, for me, is going to prolong the wear of that concealer and keep it crease-free. Okay, so now it's time to get into the actual eyeshadow look. I am going to be using the new Ofra times Smokey Deepak eyeshadow palette. She did have a collaboration with Ofra, and this eyeshadow palette is perfect for an everyday look. You can do a soft glam look, a smoky eye look. The colors are very neutral. It has one shimmer shade, which is great, again, for that soft glam look if you're wanting to add a little bit of shimmer to your eyes. But overall, the color palette is great for all skin types. And if you're a beginner in makeup, this should be your go-to eyeshadow palette, girl. You should start off with a neutral eyeshadow palette. I'm going to be using the Real Techniques 063. This is going to be like more of your packing eyeshadow brush. You go to apply your transition shade. You want to tap to build up the color and pack the color on. And this brush is dense, but it does have some flexibility there for you to be able to move around if you needed to. Your transition shade will always be 1 to 2 shades lighter than your actual skin complexion or your foundation. We're going to grab some of the color off the palette. Your transition shade will always be right up above the crease. You want to tap to pack on the actual shade. If your crease is right here, you don't want to go below the crease. You want to keep it right up above that crease there. And by packing the color on, it's going to allow you to build up that color versus you applying a shadow and swiping it back and forth. You're going to lose a lot of color. It's not going to be pigmented. You're not going to really be able to see it. So we're going to tap. I'm just going side to side, and we're going to build up the color. I'm going to shift over to more of my Makeup by Mario eyeshadow palette because, so the shade that I'm using for my transition shade is a little bit too cool tone for me. I like to do more of a warm tone, especially when I'm going in to do a smoky eye. And you're going to see why here in a second. I'm going to grab more of a warmer tone shade, and I'm just going to press that on top of the lid. This is going to better help me transition that dark shade that we're going to use, the black shade from this palette. It's going to help me transition that shade into. But also, this is just going to look very, very flattering, a more warmer tone. I want to say, if you have more of a warmer undertone, stick with more warmer undertone shades when you are going to do your smoky eye. If you have cooler undertone, stick to more of a cooler eyeshadow palette. And if you have more neutral, you can kind of go either way. So I can do cool and I can do warm. So it depends on my mood and what I'm really wanting to do. Okay, so this is what your transition shade should look like once you have packed it. So moving back into that Ofra eyeshadow palette, we're going to take the black shade right here. And this black shade is going to go on top of the actual lid. And the eyeshadow brush that I'm using is by Eco Tools. It's supposed to be a blending brush, but to me, it's a little bit too dense. So I'm going to use this brush right here to pack on that black shade onto the lid. Look down in my mirror. Most important thing is when you're doing these eyeshadows, when you go to place things on top of the lid, make sure you're looking down into your mirror. This will allow you to see where you're actually placing the actual shadow on the lid. And we're just going to tap to build up that black shade. Going to go all over the lid. You want to keep it at the crease. You don't want to You don't want to blend this into that transition shade just yet. We're just packing to build up this black shade first. So now we're going to define this crease shade that we've placed on the lid. I am going to be using a defined crease brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in circular motions and we're going to go side to side, okay? You don't want to blend it out too much, you know, but we do want our transition shade to be cohesive with this black shade. We want the shades to, you know, be seamless. So a little spin here and bring it towards the front. Now, I do want to say, if you feel like, hey, I'm losing a little bit of that black shade, you know, and I don't really want to, and you don't want to lose that shade too much, not worry, girl. We're going to pack on a little bit more of that black shade. Right now, we just want to make sure the two shades are more, you know, cohesive with each other. Once you blended your eyeshadows, we're going to go back in with the black shade and we're just going to tap to pack it up so it's more vibrant. Reason why you want to have a transition shade is because you don't want to go out looking like a raccoon. You want to have a color that the black shade can transition in, because black can look so grungy. Okay, so this is what the eyeshadow is looking like so far. I'm going back in with that warm toned eyeshadow palette by Makeup by Mario. We're going to tap into this peachy, like warm like shade, and we're going to highlight the brow bone. I like to do this because I feel like it just pulls the colors together and it just makes everything just look so like freaking good. Okay, so I'm going to be a little extra. I'm going to add a little bit of this black glitter here to the black part of the eyelid. So I'm going to take a little bit of this e.l.f. primer, put some on the back of my hand. This primer is literally like a gripping eyeshadow primer, a gripping face primer. But I find it that when I place it on top of my lid and I add like little glitter to it, it literally sticks on to the lid so nicely. So I'm just going to tap. You don't want to swipe. We're going to tap that primer on to the lid. And while it's wet and sticky, we're going to add the glitter. The glitter is just going to turn up this eyeshadow, this smoky eye, into like a more elegant, more, you know, I'm going out type of vibe, so that if you are going out, or maybe for Valentine's Day you want to do this eyeshadow look, this smoky eye, you know, you can do so. Now we're going to take this black glitter. You guys, I've had this for so many years. This is from that website Shop. Oh, this is from that website Shop Miss A. I have these individualized glitters. I have so many shades of them and I love them so much because I feel like if you have a simple look, you can really tune it up, turn it up, and elevate that look. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. I'm not going nowhere, girl. We about to turn this like little look up a little. And look, you have a sexy, sultry, smoky eyeshadow look. This is literally like the quickest, easiest eyeshadow look that you'll ever do as a beginner in makeup. Again, it's very versatile. You can really make this, you know, you can do the smoky eye simple and plain, or you can add a little bit of, you know, glitter to really spazazz the actual eyeshadow look. So now I'm going in using a mascara because listen, girl, we are almost done. We're going to apply a mascara. This is by Live Tinted. This is their new mascara and I have been loving and using this mascara. Woo! Almost every day. So for lashes today, I'm going to keep it half lash. I'm going to keep it straight and simple. I'm going to use an eyelash that is going to complement this eyeshadow look, but not hide it. I feel like if you go super bold and super full, it's going to cover the whole eyeshadow and you won't get to see it unless you like look down. I mean, but like you want people to see it when you're looking forward. So we're going to be using these Lily lashes right here. This is in style Persuasive. And I did trim these down so they have more of a half style vibe. And they're not like a fuller length. And I love half lashes, especially if you're a beginner in makeup. If you're a beginner in makeup, I feel like half lashes are the way to go as a starter. I use Duo Glue to put onto my actual lashes. I'm just letting them dry real quick and then we're going to install these. Okay, so when installing your lashes, you always want to look down in your mirror and you want to use these cute little tongs right here, tweezer like lash applicators to install your actual lashes. And once you have it onto that lash line, if you want to use your fingers to secure it, you can. I do sometimes, and then I go in with those lash tweezers just to secure it even more. But we're going to go right on. We're going to attach it and make sure it's stuck onto the actual lash line before we do anything. And I'm just going to go up against my lash line and just make sure it's really, really secure. Easy peasy. This is literally how I install my lashes, you guys. It took me no time to install these lashes, and when I'm looking forward, you can still see my glittery, elegant, smoky eyeshadow look, in which I love. So the lashes are there. They have a little volume. They're a half lash. It's not too much. It's not too little. Just the right amount of touch to be able to see that smoky eyeshadow still. There is 2 more steps to this eyeshadow look. So let me go ahead and add on my base makeup and everything, and I'll be right back, and we're going to finish up those last 2 steps. All right, so now that I have my full face on, we are going to smoke out our lower lash line by adding some of that black shade just underneath that waterline, the bottom waterline, okay? I am going to be using a smaller brush. I'm going to dab just a little bit because, again, we don't want to look like a raccoon, girl. Tap out any excess, and we're going to go right underneath that waterline, right underneath there. We're going to smoke it out slightly. Now we're going to go on with this lighter shade, this brown shade right here, and we're just going to soften up this black shade slightly just on the end of it. We don't want it to be super harsh. Now I'm going to take a gel eyeliner, and I'm going to apply this gel eyeliner right on the waterline, just slightly. I want to add a little bit of depth there. I really want this smoky eye to really speak measures, like sultry, sexy, smoky eye. And again, this is a beginner video, and I feel like you guys are going to be able to do this. Like, it's so easy. I'm looking down into my mirror. I'm just applying that black shade across the waterline. You could also use a black powder if you wanted to. Now I'm going to go back in with that mascara, and I'm going to add some length to my lower lashes. I like doing this. I feel like adding a little volume to the lower lashes just really turns up the eyeshadow look a greater sum. This is the final look, the smoky eyeshadow tutorial for beginners, y'all. This was so easy. I love how gorgeous, how elegant this look is. It's simple, it's sultry, it's sexy, it's super easy for beginners. Like, what do you guys think? I feel like y'all got this. I feel like y'all be able to follow along with this eyeshadow tutorial. I took you step by step in how I would do this eyeshadow look, and I've done it many times, of course. We added a little glitter at the end just to kind of make it pop even more with the black, and y'all, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, that post notification bell, so you are notified every time I do upload a video. Because, girl, you don't want to miss out on any of these makeup tips and tricks that I bring, especially if you're a beginner in makeup. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, loves.